Welcome, everyone. Valkyrie fans, Minnesota Lynx fans. I had to give myself a day on this one. It's not like I really expected us to beat the Lynx. And, that was just so disappointing to lose that game in Seattle. But, I'm trying to look on the bright side of all this, but we were terrible. We played defense pretty good. We held Minnesota. They only had 3 players in double figures. And Heidemann killed us again. Why couldn't she do that against the Fever? It's like she was a nothing burger against the Fever. And, she played. Fee didn't play. But against us, for some reason, she hits every shot, it seems like. Anyway, Minnesota's very good. And there's no denying that. And they're the number 1 defense. We're the number 2 defense. And I was just so disappointed in the shooting percentage. It was putrid. And here's the thing. In the third quarter, we were only down by 6 points. Our defense kept us in long enough that if we had just shot decently, we had a chance. But, oh my God, it was putrid. We just couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. That was so disappointing. But that actually gives me a little hope that, in the playoffs, I can't imagine us shooting that bad again. We shot 28%. 28%. We shot 11% from 3. Just putrid. Just everybody was missing. Salon was 1 for 12. Burton was 2 for 11. Rupert was 3 for 7. We didn't have one player in double figures. We had 4 players in double figures. I'm sorry, not double figures, 8 points. We had 4 players that had 8 points. I guess she kept waiting for them to start hitting some shots, and then we had friggin' 20 turnovers. Every time you turn around, they were turning over the ball or missing a shot. Just bad. Really bad. We actually shot a little better from 3-point than Minnesota did against Indiana. Indiana actually shot 10% when they played Indiana. We shot 11% from 3. Ami here hit one at the end of the game, and then the only one to hit a 3 was Rupert. Just bad all around. But like I said, it actually, if we can go in the playoffs, we've played them 4 times now. We have a good not platform, I'm trying to think of the right word. We have a good painting of who they are, how to play them, what worked or what didn't work. And at times, there was times where it was like working. And geez, just that period there in the third quarter when we got it down to 6 points, we just hit some shots during that time. That was the difference. Just clean up the turnovers. And, we stole the ball a lot from them too. They had a lot of turnovers. It was, they had 17. And that was we had a bunch of steals. We had 14 steals. So our defense was working. It's just we couldn't hit. If we had just hit some of those shots, I would have been I just would have been happier. It's like, boy, that was like a gut punch just to see them shoot that bad. Like, wow, that was bad. And here it is, the last game of the season. It was hard to watch. It was really hard to watch. I'm like, oh my God. We're no Minnesota Lynx, but we aren't this bad. So, I'm hoping that if we just shoot better, we'll be in the game. And I'm not counting on us to beat Minnesota in the series, but it would be just so great if we could just win one game. Just win one of them. But, it's like I'm almost terrified that we'll end up getting killed again. We didn't score over 20 points in any one quarter. In that first quarter, we only scored 8 points. That's obnoxiously bad. But the thing I keep coming back to is we were still in it. All we have to do is just shoot decently. And it's a different game. Play that crazy defense and then just hit some shots. Minnesota shot 40%. 43%, they shot 32% from three. Rebounds were even. And they got 12 steals on us. Because there were times where we just threw the ball right to the deep. I mean, they were tipping passes too. So it wasn't like it was, like, oh, here you go. But it's over with. It's done. On to the playoffs. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the playoffs with the Valkyries. And, some of the awards have been coming out. And AP and ESPN have voted Veronica Burton most improved player, which I thought that was, some of the players that they were talking about, I'm like, what are you talking about? Burton had this sewn up. She was barely a blip on the screen last year. And look at what she's doing this year. So congratulations, Veronica Burton. Wonderful, wonderful. You're still missing the cutters, though. She's missing the cutters going down the middle. It's like wide open, or she's passing them too late. That's one thing that we're not doing well. We need to, that's something someone like Caitlin Clark does really well. Cloud does that really well. It's like, open your eyes, boom, there's a cutter, hit him. We don't do that well. Sometimes we get it, but it's open more times than we see it. Because we're either dribbling too much, or Carla does it a little bit. When she's in there, she'll see it and she'll get it. That was something, that's just something. Our guards are playing well. To get us this far, they're playing well. But that's just one thing they're missing. And it would help a lot, because you can almost see Temi, especially Temi, get frustrated. She doesn't let it stay or whatever, but you can see her wide open down the thing, and it's like, oh my God, throw me the ball. And she doesn't get it because the guards aren't seeing it. So that's something we have to improve on. If we could improve on that during the playoffs, that'd be fabulous. So the other thing, which I thought this was hands down, Natalie Nikasi was voted Coach of the Year. I thought that was a slam dunk too. Look at our players. We don't have, they were talking about Semesco in Atlanta. And, but how many number one draft picks do they have? How many first round draft picks do they have? They implemented, Bree Jones and Brittany Griner. They should be significantly better. Ryan Howard was a number one pick. So was Brittany Griner. Alicia Clark was in the top 5, I think. They have top players on that team. They should be where they are. And I think he's made some mistakes. They should be more dominant than they are. But, he's done a good job. It's still, they're third. But nothing compared to Nikasi. No way. Look at that's almost indisputable. And then our other, Janelle Salon, which I predicted, all rookie team, which she should be. She's playing well enough. We're going to need her big time in the playoffs, come Sunday. And I started thinking about it. It's like, okay, You know, if we had won yesterday or we beat Seattle, we'd have had to travel to Atlanta. And I don't know if that would have been any better. That's why it's like, I'm thinking, you know, maybe this is better. We're better off doing this. We don't have to travel. You know, we get to stay there in Minnesota until Sunday. Everybody can get some rest, you know, until Sunday. I don't know what the likelihood of Tip Hayes playing or not is. It'd be fantastic if we could get her back for the playoffs. I haven't seen anything yet, but we just got to leave it all on the court. You know, and even if it means only winning one game, we got to, like, it just sucked that we lost all last three of the games. I've been saying since the All-Star break, the game we needed was the Seattle game to finish sixth. And I just wanted us to be sixth. Not that it makes that much of a difference. I mean, it does a little bit. We've beaten Atlanta. We haven't beaten Minnesota. So, but it just would be nice in the history books when you look back. Geez, inaugural team, they made it to sixth in the in the playoff. I mean, it's great that we made the playoffs, but geez, we got all the way to sixth. One game was the difference between sixth and eighth. So that was just disappointing. But you know, I'm really proud of this team, and they've captured my heart, and it got me to do this, you know, YouTube channel. I was a basketball player in the early, you know, I was in high school in the late 70s and college in the early 80s when we didn't have crap. I was one of the first players to get an athletic scholarship. They weren't as they are now. You almost had to know a coach to be able to get an athletic scholarship or be one of the best players, but nothing was televised. There were people, you know, nobody knew who Cynthia Cooper was. Even after she played at USC, if you've watched her interviewed, no, because nothing was televised. They wouldn't even put the score in the newspaper. It was a whole different thing back then. But it's just been so nice to put that passion and love for the game into something now that I've retired. Because I spent 42 years working at something else. But that was the only choice we had. Unless you knew somebody and you could go overseas. But that wasn't until a couple of years after I graduated. Or got my degree, rather. So, and then I remember a couple people came back and they were like skinnier than I didn't even recognize them. Like really good players on the East Coast that went to, one girl I know went to play in Japan and she came back so skinny you could put your hand around her waist. It was crazy. And I thought, okay, yeah, not doing that. So, anyway, it's just, you know, I'm excited, I'm scared, I'm hopeful that we can at least play well and just get one game. Just take one from them. That would be success to me. I don't see us beating Minnesota in a 3-game series. I read somewhere I was on Facebook, and some guy, I think it was a guy, some guy said, boy, if the Valkyries knock out Minnesota, someone needs to make a movie about that. Could you imagine? How crazy would that be? But the way the brackets are set up, we're either taking on Phoenix or New York after that. So, anyway, it's been a wonderful journey this season. And thank you to all of you who have watched my videos. I'm going to continue on. But thank you for joining me in this covering the WNBA and especially the Valkyries. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of heartache. But overall, it's just a passion. You know, when you love the game, you love the game. So, anyway, Congratulations to the Valkyries. It's been a successful season. Let's just get one more. Minimum. Let's just get one more. Please. I don't know if my heart can take it. Okay, everybody, thank you for watching. Appreciate it if you can hit that subscribe button. And, we're going to go through the playoffs. Okay. See you next time.